On today's Success and Excuses podcast, we have the one and only William Curle from William Curle Developments. Welcome, William.
Thanks, James. It's a real privilege and an honour to be here. So I really appreciate the invitation.
It's an absolute pleasure. I couldn't have asked anybody better to come on, because we go back quite a bit, probably 8 years?
A few years. I think you came back for Dubai.
That's right.
And for whatever reason, I think I came across one of your profiles somewhere and realised that you were in the oil and gas industry.
That's right.
With Baker Hughes.
Yeah.
And I thought,
we met up at a local hotel.
I need to reach out to James because I had spent the last 20 years trying to conquer the oil and gas industry.
I remember. I think it was a Doubletree Hilton in Bells Hill we met, was it?
It was,
I think it was. We had a coffee in there.
Yeah, I think I bought it.
And since that day, probably did. And since that day, we've become really good friends.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people say I don't have a big friend group.
Yeah.
I have a very small, and you're one of my close friends. So thank you.
Thanks, James,
for coming on board. And we've been through the whole friends and business journey and everything together. And listen, you've got a brilliant story, right? That's why I wanted to bring you on, because I love your story, because it's real, it's raw, and it's got a different viewpoint to what most people in the west of Scotland would have.
Sure.
Let's go back. Tell us a story.
Sure. So my story goes all the way back to 1981. Just been a guy in his teenage years, wasn't really 100% sure what direction I was going to head in.
Yeah.
And left the school at the age of 15. I did sit O-levels, but as soon as I could leave that school, I was leaving. Left on the Friday and started working in my father's family business on the Monday.
What was it your family business was again?
So my father was an engineer, and he had a fabrication engineering business in the small village of Harthill.
Yes.
So it was
Harthill?
Yeah, exactly.
Very Protestant area.
It was actually called Ben Har Engineering. So Ben Har is a part of the village of Harthill.
Right, okay.
So it was really cool. So it was really nitty gritty. Learning as you go.
Yeah.
A lot of cutting and butting and a lot of welding, and that was our sort of apprenticeship. Coming through the 1980s, which ultimately ended up in us being in the drawing office. Loved drawing, loved the technical side of things, designing equipment, building equipment, and then seeing them on site, being built and being commercialised.
See. So there's something you said there, right? Because so for people that don't know, you're the right way to describe it is you're a James Dyson of Harthill, right? You design and come up with ideas. What's the right word? What's it called?
So people would call me an inventor.
That's it. You're an inventor. No, you're an inventor.
Yeah. So I would call myself a passionate engineer.
Right. Okay.
Always
looking for solutions.
Process engineer. I've got this wonderful gift of dyslexia.
Me too.
So the academic route, I love learning.
Yeah.
Really passionate about learning. I've always loved learning.
You are,
And but that academic route, when I left school, as I came through school, wasn't really open to us at that moment in time.
Yes.
I know it's wonderful now that kids with dyslexia get some great help, but I see it as a superpower.
So they are.
So especially so many times. Our
brains just work different, don't they?
Exactly. So many times you see, you come across parents and it's doom and gloom and they go, oh, our wee Johnny or whatever has got dyslexia. My first reaction is, brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, it's a superpower. And then I tell them my story, and you can see them changing and their mindset changing because of other people's stories.
Yeah.
And there's some wonderful examples.
You know what they say? Stories rule the world.
They do. And there's some wonderful business examples out there of guys that are dyslexic. Richard Branson's dyslexic. There's so many other guys.
He also built a multi-million-pound business, didn't even understand these numbers.
Yeah. It's stumbling forward.
Gross and net margin. I remember watching a clip of that and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Because you hire people to do it.
Aye. If you don't have the core skills to do what you need to do, you find somebody else that's better than you.
I want to go back. So you left school, you went in and worked for your dad's engineering firm. What was that transition? So those early years, because you moved in, you really enjoyed building things and designing things. When did you know, I'm really good at this? What was that?
I think that was a process. I can't really say there was a moment in time. It's just something that you grew into. So the business eventually flourished into having a niche market, which was actually building storage silos and conveying equipment. And we had a very, very close association with a business that's not 100 miles from here. It starts with Clyde and finishes with Bergman.
Yeah.
And we had a really good relationship with one of their businesses in Doncaster. And we would sell their equipment in Scotland. So places like Lungarnet Power Station, some of the cement plants, we would go in and do the design, build and do the conveying systems. And we did that through until 2006 as a family business. So through the 90s into the 2000s, we were being very, very prominent up and down the UK, building conveying equipment.
Was religion still a big thing in your life at that time? So, or was this we come into that?
My parents were religious.
Right. Okay.
They had a relationship with Jesus, and at some point in your life, you've got to really embrace it, and it's got to become your faith.
Yeah.
So, like everybody else,
you're not half in or half out. You're in or you're out.
Yeah. So for me, that was a bit of a roller coaster, and
because you weren't fully aligned, or
wasn't really fully committed.
Right. Got it.
Embracing it fully until so challenges come into your life. So in 2006, we came through a period over about 2000, turn of the century to 2006, the business was laden with substantial debt, which we were continually trying to reduce. Got great support from the Bank of Scotland at the time, but we were never really getting out the bit. We got to the point where we actually wound that business up, and then I had a few concepts and a few ideas that I ended up selling a patent that I had developed for storing offshore.
This story blows me away, man. I love this story.
But my faith side kicks in more towards the end of this season.
So we'll get to that then, right? So
the season I was in, where we had, what I learned from about 2000 to 2006 in business is put me in good stead for today. It was ultra challenging. Cash flow.
Really understanding numbers and money.
Dealing with the bank. At that time you had a bank manager. So maybe slightly easier than what it is today. You could go and pick the phone up and speak to your bank manager. Or she would be phoning you, depending on where the balance was at the moment in time.
How much in the red you?
Dealing with the revenue, dealing with VAT, dealing with suppliers. It was a right juggling act that we had to perform over that period of time. But unfortunately, it was a really cracking business. We were employing probably between 30 to 40 guys, highly skilled engineers and design engineers. And it was great. We formed a really good team. Some of the guys are still friends and have moved on to be highly successful in some of the areas that they've went and explored. So
I want to go back to the patent, because that was a big game changer for you, wasn't it?
Aye. So
that was where you really started to come into your own.
Yeah. So I had seen another company not too far away, starts with Clyde and finishes with Bergman. I'd actually designed a system for the North Sea, and ended up doing a deal with MI Swaco, and made a ton of money.
Who's owned by Schlumberger now?
Who are owned by Schlumberger now. And I thought there's actually a better way of doing this. So a lot of time with designing equipment is, it doesn't necessarily need to be an original idea.
No.
But there's always something there you think, okay,
I can do this better.
I can actually do this better. So that was my philosophy as far as design goes. So I actually seen this drill cuttings conveying system, and I thought, I know how to do that better. So we actually ended up doing a design and putting a patent in place. So I'd actually started to kick about the oil and gas industry in Aberdeen, started to speak to people up there, and came across a small company. And the guy that owned the business was a guy called Ron Morris. And I can mind speaking to Ron, and he was offshore. He had actually built a system, and it wasn't working, but I knew how to get it to operate. And he took me out for lunch. I can mind sitting at lunch, and he was talking away 100 mile an hour. Ron was 100 mile an hour
all the time,
and all the time. And I can mind sitting looking at him. And as he was talking, I had the napkin. I started to sketch on the napkin the solution. And by the time once he stopped talking, I just pushed it in front of him, and he looked down and went, "That'll work. That's the solution." And he came in, he took the napkin, put it in his top pocket, asked for the bill, and then disappeared. But Ron went away and had a think about it, and then he came back a few months later, and we carried on the conversation. And then about a few months after that, Ron's business was sold to Halliburton.
Yeah.
And then very quickly, once I got to the position of finishing up in 2006 with the family business. I don't like using the word failure because see, there's a massive lesson in my life.
Learning, that's it. It's not a failure if you don't learn from it.
Yeah, but I had to draw a line and move on. And very quickly after that, I was sitting in Aberdeen with Ron, helping him design and build the solution.
What kept you moving forward? Because that must have been a big hit. Seeing the family business go under like that. I mean, that must have been huge. What kept you going? Because that's what the podcast is, that success and excuses mindset. There's something kept driving you. Is that just something that's just who you are as a person?
So I think at that moment in time, my mindset would have been, I've got bills to pay.
Yeah.
I've got a young family.
Yeah.
I've got a wife.
Yeah.
I've got 3 kids. And another baby on the road.
Well, okay, right. And, I need to make this work.
Yeah, so I need to find a way. My mindset was just I need to find my way through this. But for February 2006 to August 2006, August 2006, we signed an agreement, a license agreement for my technology with Halliburton. And that's been phenomenal for us.
That was a game changer, wasn't it?
Yeah. And for me, that was in my mind at that point, it says I can actually start to make a living from actually designing equipment, putting IP in place, and if it's oil and gas, sell it to an oil and gas service company. So that's what we did, and we've done that for the last 15, 16 years.
I mean, I know I've seen a few of your inventions. We've got the Thermex, and like it seems so simple, and you think, why has nobody thought of this before?
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
And it goes back to that. You don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah,
just what are we currently doing to solve this problem or solution? Right?
Yeah.
How can I make it better?
Yeah.
We're cost effective, cost efficient, reduce the footprint, particularly in oil and gas. Footprint's huge, weight, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that must have been, so that's how your brain works now, because you've, I think, 4 or 5 different things that big projects you've worked on, and they're all absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
What is that? What does your brain go?
So my first deal was in 2006.
Yep.
And probably one of the largest oil service companies in the world.
That's right, yeah.
And again, that's been a phenomenal revenue stream for us. And we've taken a whole load of that cash and ploughed it into other technologies over the last 10, 15 years. I think my whole journey has just been a journey of learning.
Yeah.
And my father, who was my hero, and my mentor, gave me free rein of, do you think it's going to work that way? Go and try it, see how you get on.
Love it.
So that was the process all the way through my working life, which culminated in me designing equipment, putting IP in place, and selling technology. It's been wonderful. I've loved every minute of it. It really has been. It's been a roller coaster.
Absolutely.
Has it been easy? No.
But when is anything ever easy? If it's easy, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
When is everything
exactly?
So, and is that where faith comes into it? I know I want to bring. Where was that journey? Where was that real turning point.
So for me, the sort of light came on, if you want to put it that way. So I was coming to I consulted to Halliburton full time.
That's right. I remember that you were going offshore and travelling all over the world, and
through until about 2009. And there was a few things happening in my life that wasn't brilliant. Started to really struggle. I think probably with my mental health as well.
Yep.
And I can remember having a conversation with Yvonne, my wife. One of the really smart things I've done in life is marrying the woman I married.
Yvonne's incredible. For those that don't know about her, Yvonne is an incredible human being.
Yeah, she's been a rock,
so
and
kind and loving and caring and motherly, and
she's been a massive anchor. So I can remember having a conversation with her, and she was really deeply concerned. And it was like, you really need to start to trust God. So through a process, it was very early in May. I actually got to a place where I can't really move forward until I deal with an issue, and it was really brought to a place where I'm going to use terminology, and I'll try and explain the terminology as I go through it, because I don't like using religious language. I try to make it simple. So I got to a place in the first week in May 2009 where I 100% fully surrendered my life to Jesus. That means you're all in, and that you start to live by a certain standard, and that He becomes the Lord of your life. He becomes your master, and that's where my journey really started. Up to that point, I'd been in, out, and never really fully committed. Went to church on a Sunday, really enjoyed a lot of the aspects of that, but there needs to be a point where you need to be sure that you've got a strong, real, personal relationship with Jesus. So for me, I'm speaking about Christianity. So for me, my faith is you've got God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. So you've got the triune God who created the universe and is ultra interested in every aspect and every detail of your life. So I know as men we like to have boxes.
We're very, very compartmentalised.
We put things in boxes.
Yes,
so I've got a box for my faith and my religion. They want to have a box for business. They want to have a box for family. They want to have a box for their friend network. They want to have a box for the football team they follow. And none of them should ever cross over. So at that point, it's like I need to just be completely open and transparent, and that everything's in the one box. So we're here to speak about business.
What was that like? What was that like? Like, see, when you know, obviously we've had these conversations in the past, but what was that like when you decided I'm all in?
Yeah, I think the thing that helped me was it's hard to explain it. It was like love. It was like love and peace and joy flooding into your life like you had never experienced before. And I know for a season, I think there was probably a lot of healing needing to take place, both mentally and probably in here, in the heart. And that's a journey. But very quickly, the two of us really started to find our feet as far as our faith goes. And all I can describe it is, if you can think about love, joy and peace, and all three together, just
all at the same time,
completely overwhelming your life. It was a really nice season that we were in.
I want to stick to that. I want to stick to that, right?
Yeah.
When, because I know things get, there's a few periods in the last kind of 5 to 7 years where things really got tough, like really tough, you know, in your journey, you know, with the COVID and the rigs all shutting down and all, you know, and all your income stream almost been turned off, and you're heavily invested in all these new technologies and you're trying to sell them on, and there was a few big dips. How did your religion help you through it, or did you even question it sometimes, or was it just, no, this is a lesson I'm having to learn? Go and tell me what that was like.
I never ever questioned it, because I think it had become that real to us. It was the main thing in our life.
So what was your brain saying to you then? I've got to go through this. This is making William who William needs to be. What was that?
So being a Christian doesn't make you exempt.
No, of course it doesn't.
Troubles.
No, because that's your mind.
One thing I'm really, really confident in is it's a sort of theological term, is the providence of God, or the sovereignty of God. The providence of God is stuff happens. He's in control, but stuff happens. We have absolutely no answer to some of the stuff that happens to people.
Yep.
To good people.
Yep. And that's always the big argument against religion, isn't it? It's always a big argument.
Yeah, it is. But for me, the tough times that we've had have been trying to find success with the technologies we've developed. So you got to keep ultra positive. You need to keep pushing forward. You need to find the right people that you should be speaking to. We came through a season, so I left Halliburton, finished up their consultancy, and very quickly I ended up developing a technology for cleaning oil sludges.
Yeah,
we call it Thermex.
Yeah.
So we were.
That was the one I'd seen when you built the chamber and all that. The induction heating. Oh, it was amazing seeing that running. I remember that.
So we designed it. We built prototypes. We tried it. We tested it. Small prototypes.
And everybody loved it.
Yeah. We were blessed that we got a bit of funding for Scottish Enterprise, and that allowed us to operate a scaled up prototype for 2012, 2013 out to 2014. Got another chunky money from an oil company in Aberdeen that allowed us to operate it 2014, 15 and 16. Had a number of oil companies. All the big guys came and had a look, thought, yeah, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
But eventually,
you had all of them, didn't you? You had all the big players in the market come.
Yeah. And they always come back. So there was a couple of issues where we had a crash in oil price.
Yeah.
2014,
15, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah. Oil price crashed.
Just as you've invested all your technology in oil and gas.
Yeah. So if you're in the oil and gas industry, if you're not, to let you, for you to understand, the oil price determines what's going to happen over the next 6 months.
Yeah.
So if it crashes, they don't spend in capital, or they don't invest in new technology.
They shut shop, basically.
They batten down the hatches and just hold on tight. So that happened to us a few times, just as we were about to do a deal. So I got to a place where actually just...
You almost signed a deal. In fact, the paperwork was sent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For a multi-million pound deal.
Yeah, 2015.
And then...
We went for, I don't know, it's about $60 a barrel down to $25 a barrel, which killed the deal off. So that happened to us, and that happened to us again in 2020, where we had a group of...
I remember that as well, yeah.
There was a team came over from Houston, stood in our R&D shed between Kilsyth and Kirky, and
remember the shed?
Had a jaw-dropping moment. I thought, wow, this is brilliant. And then we all know what happened in 2020.
Yeah.
We went into the pandemic, oil went to minus $20 a barrel. So at that point you're going, I've had enough of this. I'm going to put this in the shelf.
Yeah.
I'm going to move on and do other things. And that's where I started to develop another technology. But the amazing thing is, the faith thing again is you're just continually ultra grateful for what God's done in your life, for the blessings that you have.
For your everything.
So
it's a great
I consider
gratitude.
myself to be a blessed man.
Yep.
I see yourself as being blessed above and beyond your wildest dreams.
Yep.
I'm in good health. I've got a wonderful family, and I've got a good life. So, and that puts you in the top 5% of the population of the globe when you look at some of the other developing countries.
And your whole family is religious. I mean, your sons, your daughters, they're all playing the band. I mean, I've obviously been to a few of your church sessions.
Yeah.
By the way, the church sessions are not like what you imagine. It's not like going to the church and it's full of old people. It's actually really fun.
Yeah.
Like it's a good day.
Yeah. It's a good day.
It is a good day, isn't it?
Right, so
and everybody, do you know what I was really surprised with? Sorry, I'm jumping in. I was really surprised at the age the average age is probably 30.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
The 30s, and just the way that people dress, it's just, you just do not expect church to be what your church currently is. Don't you know, that's mental. I remember me and Nina's going, and I was just like, you know, the music's gone, and it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've been a few times.
Aye, so the church I go to is Rehope, in the West End of Glasgow.
Amazing, by the way. If you're ever interested, you should try it, because it is absolutely, it is so much fun. It is, even just to go along and experience it.
Yeah. My minister's going to love you.
Listen, I don't ever consider myself to be a religious person. Do I believe in something? Absolutely. Do I know what it is? No, really. I'm still on my journey.
Yeah.
But, and I can only say this based on my experiences, everybody I've ever met, your family, friends, the people in your church, they're just really, really good people.
Yeah.
I mean, Yvonne and the kids are just, it's almost like, you remember in the US and you had the suburbs and the fancy house and the perfect family. That's what your family looks like for an outsider looking in. You just get this beautiful, perfect family. They're all really good people, and they're all really loving, and they're really caring. And that is obviously religion. That's Jesus. That's enabled you to be that family. Is that fair to us?
Yeah. So my kids, like myself, at some point you've got to embrace that faith.
And they're embraced, aren't they? They're all in.
For yourself. So it's nice to see them actually getting to a point where they're going, right, okay, yeah, I want this for myself. Mm-hmm. So it's been really nice to see that. And they're all pretty active in a lot of stuff they do.
And it's never been forced on them. You've allowed them that journey.
No.
Yeah. I think that's what's amazing about you, William, for somebody that's so, religious in your way. I hate saying the word religious. I hate using that term. What other term can I use?
I don't know, faith.
Faith, right? For how much you're involved in your faith, that you never throw it down your throat. You never try and push it on MD. No. It's part of who you are.
Yeah.
And I just love. I just think, like, as I said to you before, you're such a good human being, and I've got to put that into your faith. Yeah,
I try to keep humble, and I try to give God the glory for any good that's in me. Mm-hmm. But what I would say is, you're not exempt from problems. Mm-hmm. You're not exempt from situations that arise in your life or family or your the people around about you. And as we moved through the pandemic, it was really, really tough.
Yeah, I remember
our revenue stream. So I had came through 2019 thinking I had a real opportunity doing a deal with Thermex.
Yeah.
I had to borrow quite heavily.
I remember.
To get things lined up.
Mm-hmm.
So I went into the pandemic with, in the business, substantial debt. Mm-hmm. The deal was off that we were about to do. And it was like, wow, I can mind you thinking, I've basically got 12 months of cash, and after that,
I'm done.
Yeah. So as you come through that, you realise that you've got an anchor. So you need an anchor in your life as you're moving through it. You need something is secure. And for me, that's my relationship with God. Mm-hmm. So we came through the pandemic, and 2023, bear in mind, Thermex for me is on the shelf, mm-hmm. and I'm not really paying an awful lot of attention to it. Mm-hmm. I got a phone call from a small American oil service company mm-hmm. based in Oklahoma. I'd never heard of them before, but they'd seen one of my posts on LinkedIn. And so we're really interested in Thermex. Mm-hmm. We want to use it for land-based drilling in the US. Can we talk about it? So that was in February 2023. Mm-hmm. 2023. And by May, I was sitting in their offices in Oklahoma, looking eyeball to eyeball with the owner, agreed terms with him, shook his hand and knew I'd done a deal. when you shake somebody's hand.
That's it. Yeah. You know it's done.
So it wasn't a Halliburton or a MI Swaco or an NOV.
Yeah, where they've got to go and speak to this one and that one and that one to get signed off with this guy's mate.
Yeah, you chase them round in circles. It was eyeball to eyeball with the owner. He was sitting there with his baseball cap, his t-shirt, his jeans, and his two dogs either side. And we shook hands and we did a deal. It took us 6 months to put the legals in place, but the deal was agreed and honoured fully. And we just sold the full IP to White's Energy in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Wow.
So
just goes to show if you can just dig, because it would have been so easy for you just to get everything up, wouldn't it have?
So that technology was a 10-year journey.
I mean, wow.
So you just got to keep going. You just got to
that's faith.
You just got to keep going. There's nothing else for it.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you get to a point where you think, I'm actually in too deep. I need to keep going.
Aye.
So that's allowed me, and I was really keen to do it, was to draw a line under oil and gas and move on to something else. So coming through the pandemic, like most people, we were sitting in our own homes at our dining room table or our kitchen table thinking, what are we going to do now?
Yeah.
And what's
the next big idea?
Yeah. So I knew I wanted to move into the renewables, recycling.
Yeah. We had that conversation. I remember it. Yeah.
Is where I was wanting to head.
In fact, I love this. I'm jumping again, but look, your concept was, this is how you explained it to me, a proper 360 degree cycle. Your waste, your rubbish, everything. Somebody comes out your back, picks it up, takes it away, recycles it, and sells the product, the byproduct on. I mean, so we no longer need to worry about landfill and all that stuff. I mean, that's absolute. I was blown away. I remember you pitching that to me, and I'm like, wow. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
So there needs to be joint up thinking, and the big problem we have right now is there isn't any joint up thinking as far as our government in Scotland goes. I don't like knocking politicians too much, because they've put themselves out there. They're in the public domain. They've chosen to do that. But
you're the expert in your field. That's why you don't see the joined up thinking. You're like, this could be so much easier.
I'll give you an example of what's happened. So a few years back, they put a stop to building waste incineration, waste to energy plants. So there's some big plants that produce 10, 20, 30 megawatt, but it burns the rubbish and gets rid of it. So a few years ago, the Scottish Government decided we're not going to build any more of these plants. There's too many complaints, or they're no good neighbours. We're not 100% sure what the emissions are, what damage they're doing to the environment. So, but they also have decided that as of the end of this year, no more of your rubbish is going to go to a landfill site. So Scotland at this moment in time is in a position where nothing can go to a landfill site.
Nothing can get burnt,
and nothing can be incinerated. So nobody's actually thought of this. And come the end of this year, there's 180 trucks are going to head for Scotland down south to incinerators, where there's more capacity to get rid of the rubbish. So there needs to be joint up thinking.
So what we've actually done is just increased our cost to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Rather than looking for a solution.
You think of the carbon footprint of 180 trucks a day.
I know.
A day, every day, for the foreseeable future, to get rid of your waste. So there's no any joint up thinking. So actually, I had a look at the waste management process, and I thought there's actually a niche for building something small, containerised. Our big focus was on waste plastic, taking waste plastics, putting it through a process where you can just basically make the plastic disappear into what I call a syngas, which you can put through a gas engine and generate electricity. So you are purely putting in a waste material and you're generating power. And I thought there's actually a really great opportunity to take build units that are small scale, the size of a 30 foot, 40 foot container, design them in Scotland, build them in Scotland, and then deploy them wherever they need to go. So I've been on another journey with this technology, and it's been an amazing journey. So we've started a new start business called OR Energy, OHR, or energy. So or energy actually is a Hebrew word which means light. So if you've got a Bible, if you go to Genesis 1 where God says let there be light, the Hebrew word is or.
Right, okay.
So there's a bit of a faith thing expanded into this new business, or energy. And we're going to use that to commercialise a technology called Pyrex. So Thermex is sold.
Yep.
So the difference...
Pyrex has been something you've been, I'm going to say, working on in your mind 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I remember us having the conversation and I was just like, why does everybody not think this is a great idea?
Yeah, so my first port of call would always be to approach Scottish Enterprise.
Yeah.
We did that in 2020. Scottish Enterprise were struggling. They had no cash.
Yeah.
We were going through a pandemic. All the money was going out and paying people's salaries. And so I put an application in for funding. And then, surprise, November time, I got a phone call saying, we're going to fund some projects and you're one of them. So we're going to give you can start your project. It's your beauty. So again, we built prototypes. But the first material we put through it was shredded waste tyres. So I got a pile of tyres for my friend Dave Ashurst at UK Rubber.
Yep.
And we started to process shredded tyres through the unit. And it worked a dream. Tyres is challenging, more challenging than plastic. Over the last few years, we've sort of pivoted, and our focus is mainly to commercialise it initially, is to look at plastic. But we will come back to putting tyres through it at some point, and other materials, domestic waste, biomass. So that's the direction we're heading in with the business. But it's small containerised units that we can deploy anywhere. So I can remember nearly 2 years ago, sort of mid-July, I actually was thinking, I need help. So I was very, very much thinking that there's an opportunity to start to do things in developing countries. And I came across a guy by the name Paul Skillier, and I thought he was based in London. I'd sort of followed some of his networking stuff from a distance. But it turned out Paul had actually sold his business in London and actually bought a castle in Scotland.
Right.
But it's actually Glenarp Castle, which is a really high-end 5-star hotel. Yeah. You should take Eunice to it. She'd love it. You need to dig deep into your pockets, book a few nights in Glenarp Castle.
I'll just say, my mate's William.
As soon as you work, I was talking about a sort of presence. I would call it the presence of God, where there's joy, love, and a feeling of peace. It's really hard to describe it. But when you walk into Glenarp Castle, that's the sort of feeling you get.
Wow,
it's just a really, really peaceful place. It's down in Ballantrae, which is a village south of Girvan.
I know exactly where Ballantrae is, and I'll tell you how. Because we had a caravan in Ballantrae
did you?
for the age of, I was 7 till around 13, 14. It was actually my papa's.
Yeah.
When he passed away with the
Ballantrae.
Ballantrae.
So taking us to Ballantrae, but don't take her to the caravan. Take her to Glenarp Castle.
It's a beautiful drive out there as well, isn't it?
Beautiful. Beautiful part of the country.
So where is it in Ballantrae then?
As you leave Ballantrae, there's a wee road that you bear off to the right.
Aye.
And you go up to the gates. Right. The gates will be closed.
Right. Aye.
You press a buzzer. You don't get in unless you've got a reservation. But once I found out where Paul was, I actually just drove down to see if I could meet him. And we ended up having a conversation that day and meeting each other. So that was 2 years ago.
So you just jumped in a cab, I'm going to go meet this guy?
Yeah.
I love this.
Aye.
Is this how you ended up? You were abroad, weren't you, recently? Was it for kids building schools or something to do with schools, wasn't it?
So Paul was an entrepreneur.
Right.
And the part of his business he kept it was what they call impact investment. So impact investment is when people invest cash. So you get maybe a family trust fund, or you get a private investor or a pension scheme that want to invest in what they call impact investment. So a lot of the time that would be maybe in a developing country, maybe somewhere in Africa. So Paul has got 6 businesses in Freetown, which is the capital city of Sierra Leone.
Right, Sierra Leone, yeah.
And but last year this time, it was like, I need to go to. So Paul was going, I'd love to take one of your units and put it into Freetown. Mm-hmm. So I thought, if that's the direction we're heading in, I need to visit Sierra Leone. Mm-hmm. So I reached out to Paul. He says, yeah, I go out 4 times a year. Come with me in November. So that was November past, 2024. So there is a Kilsyth. So I'm from Harthill, but I've lived in Kilsyth nearly 40 years.
Yeah.
And there's a story. So the story goes like this. In 1920, there was a coal miner from Kilsyth by the name of Matthew Sinclair. And they called him the wee man with the big heart. So I don't think he was even 5 foot.
Yeah.
But he was a coal miner, so he was probably the right size and the right shape for coal mining. But he got to a point in his life where he thought, I feel as if I'm getting called to go to Africa to work. The term they would use then would be as a missionary. Mm-hmm. And so he left the coal mine. He must have just been a young man at the time, in his early 20s. 1920, he left and he went and trained for a year. And then a year later, he jumped in a boat in Liverpool and sailed to Freetown. And he stayed there and he worked for 40 years. And he established a work there. And so some churches in the central belt of Scotland would have supported this mission through until the mid-1990s. So it was a big deal in some of the churches in Kilsyth and other churches throughout the central belt. And it was a wonderful work that they did there. So I thought, if I'm going to be in Freetown, Sierra Leone, I'm going to travel, the Sunday, I'm going to travel the 100 miles. So the 3.5 hour drive to go and see if this church is still there. So they actually found them on Facebook, reached out to them, so they knew I was coming. So we drove up, myself, my driver, and one of Paul's guys came as an interpreter. And we drove up and went to church, and it was African church. So it was lively, it was bright, it was colourful, it was loud. And we had a wonderful time. But I thought, so communication had stopped. So Sierra Leone came through a really brutal civil war for about 1994 through until about 2002, 2003. It was a brutal civil war. If you've seen the movie Blood Diamonds, that's about Sierra Leone. So it was all about the mineral resources, the diamonds and the gold. And the rebels used that to fund the war. That's why it lasted so long. It lasted for nearly 10 years. So communications with the churches in Sierra Leone ceased. So I was there in November 2024, and I thought it'd be really cool to open up lines of communication again. So I spoke to the pastors. There was a few things happened. I was really conscious about what I was going to commit myself to. But their generator packed in, and I thought we need to replace their generator. So I committed to that, and I also committed to we're going to open up lines of communication again. So over the last 6 months, we've done that.
Wow.
And there's a lot of...
That's giving back.
There's a lot of people excited that would have previously known about the mission that are stepping in and going, this is brilliant, we want to support this.
Amazing.
But I came away, so it's not just one church. There's 18 churches.
Wow.
There's 18 schools.
Right.
There's 164 teachers, and there's nearly 5,000 children in the schools. So I came away thinking, wow. It's like, well, hold on a minute. I'm an engineer and a business person. This is kind of a move. I'm really conscious about staying within your own skill sets.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I thought this is with my capabilities. But my kids, 3 of my kids, they actually went to Africa with the school. An organisation that took them to Rwanda. So Johnny went twice, Sophie went twice, and Jessica went once to Rwanda. And they went with an organisation called Comfort International. And the guy that runs it's a guy called Callum Henderson. So I came back in November, so I'm going to reach out to Callum.
That's his 40, he's the expert at this stuff.
So I was conscious, I want it to be a Scottish charity. And I want it to be somebody that's got experience and active in Africa. So Callum would have been
Because it keeps
ideal.
that whole originality, how it all came about in the first place, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Aye.
Absolutely.
That's an amazing story.
So Callum went, yeah. So I had a conversation with Callum. We had a few meetings with Callum and his trustees. They came back in February and they went, we're going to support MPM in Sierra Leone, but we need to go back out there and spend time up country with the organisation. So I went back out with Callum for 2 weeks in May, and again we had a ball. So I'd never been to Africa in my life before. Been twice in the last 6 months. I love the climate.
Oh, absolutely. I lived in the Congo
5 degrees
for nearly a year.
Did you?
Aye.
DRC.
Aye.
And blue sky, sunshine. I love this.
Beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. The people are phenomenal.
Absolutely.
So Freetown, the
And
population,
they've got nothing.
they've got nothing. So everybody's on a hustle. You would love it. You'd love it.
Absolutely. Oh,
So
absolutely.
They've got Freetown is designed for a population of probably about 400,000 people. There's 2.5 million people in Freetown. 40% of the population of Sierra Leone is under the age of 18. So you got these young people, high energy, bouncing about, trying to make their $1 or their $2 a day, selling whatever they need to sell to get by on a daily basis. Tomorrow's another day. I need to hustle again.
Absolutely. Goes back to success or excuses, doesn't it? There they've got this
That's the mindset.
success
That's the
mindset.
mindset.
Aye, absolutely.
It's just
So that journey. What's next? What's next for?
So we've launched the business.
Right.
There's a few things we need to take care of. Coming through COVID, there's damage is done as far as finance goes. So it's trying to get everything back on an even keel.
Yep.
That's a challenge, but we're making progress there. Reducing the debt that we spoke about, that we borrowed in 2019. For me, my focus is the new business or energy. We're looking for investors. We're looking to build units, manufacture, design, build units in Scotland and to deploy them to places like Sierra Leone. We've got a relationship with a business in Ukraine. So you pick the two countries in the world that probably nobody really wants to go to at the moment, would be West Africa and Ukraine. But round about the time I met Paul Skillier at Glenarp Castle, I met a couple of guys in Ukraine. Young Josh did his degree at Strathclyde Uni. He's working in Ukraine. His boss is a guy called Wayne Check. He's Australian, but he's lived in Ukraine for 30 years. They've actually got so the journey I'm on with the plastic waste, they're doing something very, very similar.
Right, okay.
So they approached me in February this year, and we put in a joint application to, the project was called Innovate UK, Innovate Ukraine, but it was actually Innovate UK funding project, which is the UK government. So Innovate UK is like Scottish Enterprise, but for the whole of the UK. So that dialogue is ongoing with them.
Amazing.
So I've got aspirations of actually building the first unit and it going to Ukraine and or Sierra Leone, West Africa, or wherever we feel that door starts to open up. But the plastic pollution and the plastic waste in West Africa, in Freetown, is unbelievable.
It's a different scale, isn't it?
I've never
It's
seen
a
anything
different
like
scale,
it in my life.
and it's a lack of education as well. In a lot of the countries, isn't it?
So when I went in November, the first 3 days I spent on a landfill site. So I'm doing it right into the centre of the landfill site. I had a driver drive me into the landfill site. He was reluctant, and we drove right in. And very quickly I thought, I want to feel relatively safe. So we were approached by a young guy, and we had a conversation. I says, listen, I want to see the landfill site. I want to see your community. I want you to stay with me and give us a guided tour. So I had him for 3 days, and he showed me about, met all his family. I mean, if you're living under a corrugated sheet, you're doing well. Because a lot of the time it's just a tarpaulin.
That's right.
Met all the project workers that were trying to make a difference in the community. So you've got a landfill site that's on fire. So you can see the smoke, the fumes, the plastic waste. 10-year-old kids running about that should be in school.
H2S coming through the...
Exactly. Collecting plastic waste with 30,000 people living in a slum.
Round about
the landfill site.
Living off it.
Yeah, so you're coming away thinking, I'm in this for business, but we can actually make a massive difference here.
I love it.
We can make a
absolutely
massive
love
difference.
it. Listen, we're getting,
that's where we're heading.
Amazing.
That's where we're heading.
Amazing, right. I ask all my guests this. Their top 3 pieces of advice. So if somebody's listening to this, they're maybe struggling, they're maybe, whether it's business or life or whatever it is, what would your top 3 pieces of advice be?
Yeah,
anyone?
so I'll do them in reverse order.
Sure.
Because there is a number 1. Reverse order would be never ever. Number 3, never ever ever give up. Keep going. We've spoken about this.
Yes.
Keep going. If you have a dream, if you've got a skill set, if you've got a ambition, keep going with it. Don't let anybody detract you from it. Mm-hmm. Use wisdom and common sense, but keep going.
Absolutely.
And keep chopping on doors.
Love it.
And keep speaking to people. Speaking to people is really important.
Absolutely. And you're great at that.
Yeah.
You really take the bull by the horns, don't you? When you set your mind and see something, you're in.
Yeah. So number 1, never give up. Number 2, never look back. So we tend to look back and go, I failed. No, you didn't.
Can't change it either.
You didn't fail, you learned.
You learned.
Win
or learn is my thing, innit? You win or you learn.
Yeah. Number 1 for me, advice is you need an anchor in your life. And for me, that's Jesus Christ. Obviously, he was the Son of God, came to this earth and died on a cross. He rose again and he's seated at the right hand of the Father. So having come into faith for me is the number 1. Mm-hmm. There's a thing that I've picked up from a wonderful church in New York, and they call it the ABC. So it's the ABC brings you to a place of surrendering your life to Jesus. Mm-hmm. So that's A, you've got to admit that you need help, mm-hmm. and that your life's not the way it should be. B, you need to believe that Jesus is the Son of God and that you're willing to accept him as your Lord and Saviour and as your Master. And C, that you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and start telling people that I've come to faith. There's terms that would be used like being born again or coming to faith or I've found Jesus or I've seen the light.
But they all mean the same thing. You're embracing Jesus.
It's a personal thing.
Yeah.
It's not something that I would want to force on people. Yeah. If you're listening to James's podcast today and you want to know more about faith, about Christianity, I'm more than happy to meet with people, mm-hmm. spend time with people, have a coffee, have a chat, no pressure, talk about business.
Absolutely.
Talk about mindset.
And there's never been any pressure. For all the years we've known each other, never, ever, ever been any pressure on religion or conversation. And I know it's the biggest part of your life. And, obviously I've been there and been involved in a lot of it. And that's what I love, William, about your version of Jesus Christ is you don't try and throw it down anybody's throat.
Aye.
It's who you are. Exactly. It's what you are. It's what your family are. And that's okay.
I know. So I thank you for allowing me to speak today. I didn't realise you were going to... The main focus would have been my faith. But for me...
It's the journey. But faith is a big part. See, you know what it's about? Part. You know what it's about, William? This podcast was set up when nothing's taboo.
Yeah.
Right? People need to know what the real journey is.
Absolutely.
And everybody's got a different way of coming through. Faith has been your anchor point.
Yeah.
My anchor point has been Enos for a lot of what I've done.
Yeah.
And it's just letting, I suppose the story, right, is you've got to have something to believe in. And yours just happens to be Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
And that's okay.
Yeah, it's good. So come back to this. We want to put everything in a box. For me, it's one big box. Yeah. And for yourself, I know it's you've got one big box.
Yeah.
Everything's mixed in there.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the way, it's called life.
Yep.
And that's the way it should be.
Absolutely. Listen, William, it's been an absolute pleasure. That has absolutely flew in. Thank you for coming on. If people want to get in contact with you, how do they get in contact? Now, there will be details on the podcast, but how do they get in contact with you, William?
You can phone me on my mobile or send us an email. So my mobile number is 0791 730 4420. Phone me or text me or WhatsApp me or email me So my email address is william.curle@orenergy.co.uk.
Fantastic. The details will be on the bottom of the podcast. As I say, William, it's been an absolute pleasure and thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks, James.